In this video, I'm going to show you a trade alert email that I sent to the members on June 8th. Now fast forward, it's June 16th and that trade would have ended. We're doing a recap where we talk about why I would put on this trade. We talk about how the trade would have progressed, and then we talk about how it did end. I'll tell you what, at the end of the day, we talk about these kind of things because at the membership, it's all about seeing the world through my eyes. You're going to see how a professional stock trader, someone that's in retirement and uses the stock market to derive his income through writing covered calls and selling cash secure puts to then generate a profit to then buy dividend paying funds for passive income. That's what we do at the membership, and members get these sort of emails. This one came in on a Saturday. We talked about what we were going to do that Monday. You're really going to dig this one because this trade talks about how we would have done a second trade had it worked out that way. Hey, look, go to cptdashboard.com, cptdashboard.com, click Upgraded Dashboard, and get your 1 free month offer. I'm going to turn it over to him. Stick around. I know you're going to like this one. One free month offer in the description below. Would love to welcome you aboard. Hey, welcome back, everyone. I want to do a recap. I've, over the past week, maybe 2 weeks, I've sent out three cash secure put trades. They've all done incredibly well. In fact, we would have never been assigned shares. We would have made incredible amounts of money. We're going to talk about TNA because this is one that I actually did not do. I said I was going to do it. And then I turned around and did another one of the trades that I sent you. I think it was LABU. LABU cash secure put in and around 48. I went with that instead of this. Why? Because I didn't have an LABU trade on outside of my poor man's covered call trade in my taxable account. So I went with the LABU in my IRA. Did a cash secure put. We bought that back, made some money. But here's the TNA trade that I sent you. Again, the reason I didn't do this TNA trade is because I already own 2,000 shares. And I'm actually underwater. I think my TNA cost basis is right around 37, but we keep writing covered calls out of the money, and what we try to do is use our cost basis. My last TNA trade, right now, it's ongoing, expires 30 days. Well, it was 30 days when I placed it. July 11th, 38. I get out in and around my cost basis. I made a little bit of premium, and we're just going to let it ride. That's what we do. We have patience built in to the covered call and cash secure put trade. We don't have to run like a day trader and try to make those little tiny crumbs and hope that the trade goes our way and then be out of the trade before the closing of the day. And swing trading, that gives you a little more patience, right? Because you can go from 1 day to maybe 3 days or a week or even 2 weeks. What I love about writing covered calls is you can incorporate the swing trade with the selling premium. And that's exactly what I do. I look to do a short-term swing trade with something like yen, TNA, or LABU. What we do is we find the stock's trading range, and once we do that, we look at its range. We want to get involved near the bottom of its range, so if we were assigned the shares, or if we bought the shares and we're writing an in-the-money covered call, we have a favorable chance that the stock has peeled back enough, the selling has been exhausted, and now it's going to move higher. Because we use indexes and sectors, this can happen. You buy an individual stock, it keeps falling and falling and falling, and you don't know where the bottom is. It could even be as far as the 200-day moving average, and that's not anywhere tight to what we do. So using indexes and sectors, we can do this. That is the absolute jewel of the Nile. The way we trade here at the membership is the jewel of the Nile because we're able to do short-term trades, 1 week, 2 weeks. Then we can extend out to 3 and 4 weeks if the trade went against us. We sell premium, which means they pay us up front. The buy and hold investor buys and has to hope it gets above their cost basis. So I bought TNA at 37 and it has fallen all the way down to 17 during this year's crash. But we made money writing out of the money cover call strikes using the expected stock move calculator. I mean, if everybody had an expected stock move calculator and tried to use it the way we do, they can actually sell premium while the stock's underwater. Makes you feel good, right? You're making money when you're down. And that's what I've been doing with TNA and a lot of my other positions. Now, let's talk about this TNA trade. This was a beautiful trade where I sent it out on the weekend. I think I sent it June 8th, and I believe that was a Saturday. Told you this is what I'm going to look to do come Monday morning. Well, a lot of people took this trade, and a lot of people made money. We talked about in the email, which I'm going to show you, 1 week, 2 week cash secure put. But we're going to focus on the 1 week, because if we're assigned the shares, we can then get off another week covered call. Always remember, it's 2 trades. We don't just put on 1 trade, we put on 2, because one of them has to be the trade that pockets us that upfront premium, but the second trade has to be ready. It's our mental game. If the stock falls from where it's trading on screen right now down and you are assigned, well, all of a sudden the emotions step into the room. See, where you were happy then, you're not happy now. The emotions start to consume you. That's why you have the second trade dialed up. That's why at most every single post I do with a cash secure put always shows you the next trade. There's both the current cash secure put that I put on and there's the hypothetical next trade. That's what's going to make you a great trader. You are always ready to act. So many people just sit on their hands and next thing you know, they never get off the next trade and then maybe the stock falls again, further complicating the situation. You put on the second trade and it falls, it goes against you. We can buy that option back. We pocketed 2 premiums and yeah, the stock's down, but hey, the stock's down for the buy and hold investor. But we've collected 2 bits of cash flow where they haven't. That is the absolute genius of selling premium. So let's get to this trade. On June 8th, I sent out that email. In fact, I'm going to show you that email here real quick. It's right there. We put it out that the coming week, I was going to go ahead and look to use TNA for the 30 strike. I'm going to show you on a chart what it did, but that's exactly what we did. We talked about. Look the chart over. It's trading at the top, 33.70. We literally dial up what would be a 30 strike cash secure put in 1 week. That was going to be the trade. Period. End of story. I know it's a little conservative. It's almost $3.70 out of the money. But hey, in this market, TNA can fall from 33.70 down to 30 quick. So we want to be a little conservative. And of course, we're going to get some premium because it's a 3x leverage ETF. We go ahead and put on the trade. Hypothetically. See, I didn't actually do the trade, but you did the trade. And this is what happens. When I sent it out, it was trading near the top of its range. Now, looking at that chart, if you could focus in, look at that chart. We do not need to know TNA's near-term resistance or near-term support. We don't. Does not matter where the stock's trading. What we do is dial up the Keltner channel, and you know that I use defaults on the Keltner channel 1 year out, 1 month. Doesn't matter. We sell time. Try to get a picture of where the stock's trading. And it doesn't have to be daily or weekly. Just dial in and see where the trade's at. Well, notice where it's at. It's trading near the top of the range. And if you go back about a week to 10 days, it was trading outside of the Keltner channel top. And you know we never take on that trade when it's outside the Keltner channel top. Because look what happens. They always find bag holders at the top. And sure enough, that's what happened. Had you bought at that green candle, you'd have been holding a bag. Because it would have fell from where it was trading all the way down to 30. And you'd have been holding that bag, hoping that it goes higher. How we trade, we're going to wait for that bag holding event to happen. And it just happened. Now the stock's trading sideways to higher and it moves a little bit up. Does not get outside of the top of the range. So we're going to go ahead and take a position now at support. And I believe, minus that one unique candle that is outside of the yellow box, it's going to be 30. That's where the Keltner channel mid is at, and that's where it bounces, bounces, bounces. We're going to go ahead and pick the 30 strike. Look what happens. It falls from that moment. It falls from 33.70. Now, we're hoping we're not assigned, but if we are, we have the second trade dialed up in our minds. But we don't need to do that. The reason we do not need to do that is because TNA does not touch 30. In fact, it traded a little bit above 30, and now it's popping to 31.64. We would not have been assigned to shares. Notice how the stock fell all the way down. It did not get to 30. This was a perfect strike for a perfect time frame. And now the stock's moving higher. It is over. Trade done. We are not assigned the shares. Now, what we could do is if we think the stock is going to move higher again, we can get involved where we buy the shares. Yes, we buy the shares, and then we do another in-the-money covered call for the 30 strike. You say to yourself, why wouldn't you do another cash secure put at 30? Well, you actually can, but when the stocks are popping like this, remember, you always get more premium for a call option versus a put option. Now, whether you do the cash secure put or you own the shares and pick the 30 strike, it's the same trade. The call buyer is going to pay you downside protection. From where it's trading right now, 31.64, they will pay you that 31.64 as a part of your premium for the 30 strike. The in-the-money covered call is largely used in IRA accounts. Why? Because many times we'll own the shares, we'll have our shares taken away, or we'll sell them via a buyback. In an IRA, they will offer you what they call IRA margin. You're not given any more money to use, but you can actually use their IRA margin, which allows you to trade on unsettled cash. Remember, when I place this trade, if I own the shares and I sell the shares, well, there's a 3-day settle period. In accounts that don't have margin, you can't use that money for 3 days. Now, maybe your brokerage will let you trade at least once, but generally, they won't let you trade on unsettled money. And in an IRA, they do. They let you use your unsettled money. They call it IRA margin, and you can buy shares and do the trade all over again. So I wanted to show you this because these are the kind of things that I'm always looking at. You know, you're a member because you get to see the world through my eyes. That's the key here. I am an active trader. This is how I earn my living in retirement. I trade, so I'm always looking for a trade that isn't going to break me because I don't want to be broken. Look, TNA leveraged ETF to the Russell 2000. A lot of people say there's too much risk in these leveraged ETFs. Well, what they're really saying is, John, these things move too much. Well, volatility in a stock moving up or down, that isn't risk. That's the thing I'm trying to impress upon you. We are trading the Russell 2000. It's a diversified index of thousands of stocks. You're diversified. We throw on the juice so we can get good premiums. Hell, if we got good premiums for the IWM, which is the 1-for-1 ETF, I'll give an example. A lot of people use the SPY. There are millions of traders using the SPY every single day. We use UPRO. Is UPRO the 3X leveraged ETF to the SPY? Yes, it is. So is there any more risk than the SPY? No, there's not. Volatility does not equal risk. Sure, if you have money emotions, then yes, you have to take it slow. You have to try to take it slow. Because when SPY moves 1 point, UPRO is going to move 3X that. And because UPRO is an $80 stock and SPY is a $500 stock, your movements percentage-wise are going to be wild. You'll go into your account. If the SPY's down 5%, you're going to be down 15%. So the money emotions start to come in. You're like, my gosh, I lost 15%. Well, what I'm telling you is you're investing in the SPY. And if you think the SPY is risky, then don't invest in it. But I don't. It's just the mechanics of a 3X leveraged ETF. But you know what? We sell premium. We want to be out of these trades. And look, all these ETFs have slowly risen back up, just like the rest of the market. I told you they would. Of course they would. They follow these indexes. So of course, UPRO was going to go from a low of 48 during the crash. It's now trading for 85. If I can impress upon you anything, leveraged ETFs is the way to go because they're leveraged to the indexes. They are diversified by nature. Now let's finish this up. I use TNA all the time. This is 2025. Now this is incredible when you see all that green. This is what I try to teach you, try to educate you, but more importantly, I try to give you confidence. Here is last year's TNA trades. This is $57,000. I literally made, just using TNA, what some people make for an annual salary. Just using TNA in 2024. I want you to take all of my trade alerts, and if anything, just do your due diligence. And ask yourself, what would John do? And what did John do? Because come Monday, you didn't get an email saying I put on this trade, so you could ask me, hey, John, you said we're going to do this trade. You didn't do the trade. And I would have told you that I did the LABU trade that I sent you the week before. At the end of the day, take my trade alerts, which these are trade alerts for which you're seeing the world through my eyes. Take those, and what I want you to do is do your own due diligence and then decide. But when I send you a trade alert for which I've actually done the trade, make sure you take a look as to why I got involved, because usually I'm going to tell you exactly why I picked the strike and I picked that expiration date. Hey, look, I'm going to leave it right there. Be safe, be healthy, most important, be lucky. Until next time, may all your covered calls be profitable.